Thanks, Craig.
All right. And ready when you are.
All righty. Are we recording?
Yes, we are. Thanks. I needed that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Inside joke. Okay. Hi, Melody, Sandy, Dustin, Michael, and Angela, Lisa Marie. Thanks for jumping on here. Yeah, where is everyone? This is like a perfect time for this subject, by the way. The title for this is going to be People, just people. Okay. So the reason that I bring this up is there's this funny phrase that we've always had in this business, especially for the people that have been blessed to do really well. Hi, Scott. Thanks for jumping in here. And people will ask all the time. It's like, what's one thing, Robert, that you love most about what you do? I go, that's obvious. People. I just I've established some of the greatest friendships and met the most awesome people through this business. And then people go, what do you hate most about the business that you're in? People. And I just thought I would throw this out to you guys because, you know, I know that people say, especially, if they're, what would Jesus do? You're supposed to learn to love yourself and you're supposed to love everyone and treat everyone really, really incredible. And you're supposed to love your enemies. And I'm just saying, from me on a personal note, that a lot of people don't make it that easy. And so one of the things, if you talk to any business person, and because I've been in this industry for 39 years, the people business, I call it the people business, is that the number one thing that you'll see is that when you run into people like my oldest son right now, he has a company, it's called H2O Pros. And if you've ever heard of the Colligan man, he would be known as the Hagman. There's another system out there that's bigger than Colligan, believe it or not. They're called Hague water systems. And so my son, he just broke a record. They did $118,000 in sales last week. So my son grew up with me doing network marketing and affiliate marketing. And one of the things that a lot of people, when you hear them talk about business, is what would stop you from going from 1 million a year to 2 million a year? And you hear it every time if you ask this question, as they'll say, good help is hard to find. Good help is hard to find. So even if you can find someone that is good, then actually other corporations will find out how good they are because they hear you're doing great in sales. And then they find out who the best salespeople are of that corporation. And what they'll do is they'll recruit them. They'll go out and go after them because why wouldn't you want that person in your company if they're doing so good? So one of the things is when people get involved in anything in life, I mean anything in life, unfortunately or fortunately, you got to find people. And so what ends up happening is if you don't unconditionally love people, and it's called unrealistic expectations, is how many people have noticed that people will let you down and not by a little bit. I mean, they'll really, really let you down. So you get involved in a company or you want to start your own company. I'll just use an example like Sandy. If all of a sudden Sandy just said, you know what? I want to start my own practice. And if she's doing it at all, she needs clients, right? And so the people that she might hire to do her advertising might let her down. The people that are her accountants or the people that are on the front counter might let her down. You see what I mean? And it's like, then you get clients, and the clients come in, and you know exactly what's wrong with them. Exactly. and you say, listen, this is exactly what you do, and all your troubles and worries are going to go away. And they don't do it. So now they'll come back complaining, and they'll even say, Sandy, I did exactly what you told me to do. And you're going, you did not. So people in their own mind, hi, Coach Bob. And that's why people, when they go into being entrepreneurs, that's why I've talked to so many people in my life, and they go, I'd rather just have a job and punch the clock, because they tell you what your responsibilities are, what they expect of you. You get to clock in, do what you do, and then you get to take your two breaks, your lunch, and then clock off and go. And so Coach Bob and people that just got on, my whole title is people. And one of the things is when people get involved in this, we get what is called unrealistic expectations. And so when you see all the documentation on the product, and then you see all the testimonials of people being on the product, then you try the product, and for the love of God, it works on you. You really, really, really feel it works on you. Now, who would be so stupid not to try the product? About everyone. And even the people that will try the product, excuse me, will talk themselves out of the product, or they won't take it as recommended to get the right results. And so you got all these people out there that go, oh my God, I can't tell you how bad I need money. And you go, listen, all you got to do is share some information about this incredible company. And there's people in this company that is making any kind of money you want to make. And they get involved. We immediately all mentally in our mind go, you would have to be really low on an IQ test to say no to this. And boy, can we find them, huh? And then even Coach Bob has talked about this, where, me, if I was telling anybody what was my key to success, it's two. One is praying for help. And when I found a person that could show me what to do, I locked in and followed instructions. I had no clue how special I am. That there's actually people out there that see someone that makes 60 grand a month and believes that they also got to see that they've helped other people make 10 grand a month. And so this is what you do, and you just do that. From some of you that were on the call last night that I did, hopefully we'll get, because I just went into prayer and just said, hey, listen, let me say the stuff to people that have ears to hear. Let me nail them, right? And my mentor, believe it or not, thank you guys. My mentor, believe it or not, set me up in some other parts. So the first thing that he got me to do is he got me to believe that what if you could have 30,000 people in your group, and all the 30,000 people did just as little as humanly possible. So when I asked him, I don't understand, how did you get that, make 60 grand? I don't understand. And he says, I got 30,000 people that are responsible for my income. So if they were all active and doing something, this is what he said to me to really get it in my head. He goes, Robert, what if all 30,000 people worked 1 hour a month? All 30,000 just worked 1 hour a month. Then I'm getting paid on 30,000 hours of work in a month. See where he reduced the numbers down to the ridiculous? So that would mean that a person would make $2 per person. So now when you look at examples like Netflix or Amazon, right? What do you think that a company like Costco, what do you think that they averagely make net profit per customer? So when we hear that Costco, does memberships, right? And they make like $8 billion off memberships. And I'm just throwing that number out there. It might not even be that number. But my mentor got me to really learn to love people, but also have really no expectations on people at all. Sandy's known me for years, but this is the first time she's been a part of my organization. And how many times, Sandy, do I call you up and ask you if you brought any customers in? How many times do I call you at the end of the month and go, Sandy, make sure to get qualified for next month?
0.
How many consultants did you bring in last month?
Don't ask me that.
See, it's like, excuse me, still getting over this head cold. So the whole thing is I want to work with Sandy because she's Sandy. So if she buys product and uses it, I'm happy. If she decides to stop using the product, I'm happy. If she brings in customers, I'm happier. If she brings in consultants, I'm happier. But no matter what Sandy does, I'm happy. I value our relationship. I love who she is. I always pray for her and her family like I do you all, to just get a little more progression, just to constantly grow. So watching Sandy, do short videos, it makes me really happy because I remember when I first did my first short videos. And it's this progression that you help people with, because a lot of people just are going to do their speed, and you have to be okay with that. And so when I got in this industry, there was a phrase that, thank you, Sandy. There was a phrase that Bill said to me all the time, and it's a forgotten phrase. I do not hear it anymore. And he says, the magic behind this industry and all successful businesses is that you have a lot of people doing a little bit. So if you looked at any major corporation, I don't know if you guys heard this, but Amazon, this was their first year, last year, that they surpassed Walmart. They're now the largest company on the planet. How many people know that if you looked at the top 10 biggest corporations on the planet, how many of you think it would equate to how many employees they have? That's not by accident, is it? So Amazon's bigger than Walmart, and I'm just throwing some numbers out there. They have 1.8 million employees, and Walmart has 1.6 million employees. Does this make sense to you guys? And so what happens is, let's take this all backwards. Hi, Shelley. And so now, because of your expectations of people, who would not do this? Who would not take this product? And that's our expectations. It's like, my God, I didn't know what glutathione is. Now that I know what glutathione is, everybody needs this. And then you reach out to the people that you love the most, that you know need it the most, and they go, no, thank you. So then you reach out to some people and they go, yeah, but I'm using this other product and I think it's better than yours. And then the first company I got in 39 years ago was water filtration. And I'd had people look at me in the face and go, my grandpa's not dead. My dad's not dead. I'm not dead. And we all drink this water. And I'm going like, great psychology. That is just awesome. And then, so that's the product side. But what about the opportunity side? Hey, do you know anyone that would like to make a full-time income? Do you know anyone that would like to make $100,000 a year? Yeah, me. Well, not only could you make $100,000 a year, but imagine being able to be self-employed so you worked when you want. Total freedom. Man, that sounds awesome to me. Well, let me send you some links. No, I'm not interested in one of those companies. So when you have unrealistic expectations of people, because I brought up something last night when I was talking to Mike, and I thought that I would just follow through with it today, our mentality is that the number one thing that I always hear from people is they go, how do you motivate people? Please tell me how you motivate people. Coach Bob is laughing because, I mean, after he introduced himself to me, it was like, hey, how can I get all these people in my group to frickin' do something? You know what I mean? And I would always say to people, it's like, hey, listen, all you can do is lead by example. But if you want more income, you just need more people. So it's always more people doing a little bit instead of trying to get the people that you already have do something. So why do you think that there's less, and this is true numbers, even in Immunitech, less than 1% of people and all direct sales, network marketing, multi-level affiliate marketing, only less than 1% of people make a full-time income. And when I tell people that and they see that, they immediately go, well, if 99% of the people are failing, that must be a sucky business model. But how many people that go out for flag football or basketball or baseball, t-ball, what do you think the percentage is of people that make a full-time income after they go through elementary school, mid-school, high school, college? Even if they didn't go to college and they're like Kobe Bryant and then they just go right on a pro team. Guess how many people make a full-time income in major league sports? Less than 1%. But we don't tell little kids. See, and you guys can Google this or AI this. So then what if we just looked at the economy of the United States? But if you went worldwide, guess what percentage of people make over $250,000 a year? In the world, it's less than 1%. Isn't that crazy? In the United States, that's only 5%. So why would some people want to make $250,000 a year and the other people just choose not to? Do any of you know people that the path of least resistance is something they've mastered? You know what I mean by this? Is how many people do you know that are consistently trying to figure out how to get more money by doing less? What if it's not only human nature, but what if it's really mentally just something that is ingrained in us? What if it's part of our DNA? Because why would people work so hard to go on a vacation? Why do people dream about vacations? Why would anyone dream or imagine winning the lottery? Does that really sound like stupid? Who would like to have money in their account that when you opened it up and you looked at it, you just went, Sure nice to be done. Sandy's the only one. No, I'm joking. But it's like, so when you think of that and you imagine that, then how do you get to that? And that's one thing that people just are not willing to do. So one of the things that I said last night that I think is just so powerful that we don't say to people is we say, okay, Coach Bob, this business is easy. All you need is one other person like you. Have anybody ever heard this in network marketing training? Just find another Dustin and you're done. And some of us are brutally honest with ourselves and go, man, if I had another person just like me, I'm in the same spot as I am right now. It's like, I have no new customers. I have no consultants. And the someone that I brought in that's just like me is exactly no customers and no consultants. And so that's one of the things that if you can lower your expectations, and this is not wrong, but if you lower your expectations and you just love people, and what if you wanted to make, if you wanted to make 100 grand, how many people know that's $8,333? 33 cents. That's what it is, right? So what if you had 8,400 people that you got paid $1 off of? See, no one thinks like that. So what they do is they bring somebody in, and as soon as they bring them in and then they find out that that person stopped their subscription, and then we bring someone in and they're a consultant and then they quit, or they come in as a consultant and they go to another company, and then we're upset at them, and then we find out that they went into another company, and then they went into another company. And when you really, really think about that, then it's easy to say, well, this is not worth it. This is just not worth the time to go through and that many people that fast and have a lot of people doing a little bit. But would any of you that have known me for a little bit of time, would any one of you like to change my lifestyle for yours? Let's just talk on the financial side. It's like, since I left MDC and went into Immunitech, my income has dropped a lot, because I have to rebuild it. But it's all, what would be? It's all perception. Because how many of you guys would be okay with making 9 to 10 grand a month? And it's like, and I believe it or not, I'm still making little over $4,000 a month with Akashics. Would any one of you be okay with 4 grand a month? And see, I don't even trade. But I find people that need to make extra money. So how many people do you think that are in Akashics right now that are making a full-time income trading? Less than 1%. I think they got 65 diamonds. So a diamond would be making like at least $750 a week. And they only have 65. So what I'm sharing with all of you is that the thing that kicks you out, if you don't change your perspective, if you don't change your imagination, if you're always looking for people to do more than they're doing, then you're always going to be unhappy with them. Everything, all the time. They never got enough customers. They never had got enough consultants. They wasn't on why aren't you on the training calls? excuse me, why don't you go to the events? See, if you're always looking for people to do stuff, then you're always going to be upset at people. And if you're always mad at people and you're trying to build a people business, then internally, you don't like people. See, you say that you like people, but all the people that you know consistently let you down because they're not reaching your level of expectations. So where this really came from all the time is, could you unconditionally spend time and love another human being unconditionally, and they really don't have to do nothing for you other than exist? Is that possible? Because how many of you people know people that have a large influence and a large group of people that hang around them, and they really don't expect anything from any of them? But that's what people do, is they get in this business. They have unrealistic expectations. They want people to get in and buy the product because it's a no-brainer. It's an IQ test. And if the product works for you, then why wouldn't you continue to take it? And if you continue to take the product and you get good results from it, why wouldn't other people get involved and supplement their income, if not totally replace their income? But then you find out that the majority of the people will not do that. So if you don't change the way you think about people, then it's very difficult to build a people business. See, I think this business is really incredible, because if I had a corporation, if I ran a traditional business, the people that I pay income to or payroll to, they need to do something. So my son talks to me all the time, and it's like he's got to train people to do stuff. Then they go out and do it. And then they tell him the same thing I've heard, no exaggeration, probably 100,000 times. Easily I've heard this. Oh my God, I've never made any money in this industry, and now I made a check. Thank you. And then they disappear. Other people that come to me, like this happening to my oldest son right now. It's like, I did exactly what you told me. I never believed I could make like $8,000 in a month. Never, ever. And then they don't even call you when they don't show up. That's people. Now, why do people do that? Come on, you guys. Why do people do that? We'll find out Wednesday. Man, there's a lot of drifters out there, isn't there? There's a lot of drifters that are consistently listening to that voice. And they consistently get put in the... Do you guys know of anyone that had just an amazing, amazing relationship and then they sabotage it? Why do people sabotage their life? I don't know. Have I done it? I have. That is bizarre. When I was immature and had a big ego, I thought that I could get company owners to do what I needed them to do. It caused a lot of unharmony. And then what I would do is press the issue, and the next thing I knew, I left the company and sold my positions for $1. What an idiot. Was I right? Of course I was right. But I put my family in a bad position, put myself in a bad position. Why? Because I thought I knew more than them? I was a distributor working for them. It was their dream, not my dream. So if you guys really enjoyed this, because you got to think different about your perspective of what you need people to do to be a part of your life. Because if you have hundreds of people in your life, and then thousands of people in your life, and then 10,000s of people in your life, it's amazing when you have that many people in your life that all that group consistently does something. Right? So for those of you that are part of the $1 billion run Facebook group, and you see how many rank advances are happening in the Hungry team, that's like they're on frickin' fire. They just opened up another 4 countries, and I'm just watching them, and I'm just going like, man, this is just so awesome for them. And Judith, her birthday today. If you guys are friends of hers, wish her a happy birthday. But Judith and Shandor come from a background where all they ever did was just have, because the country is different, they have doctors that are on their stages telling people what the product did for their patients. You can't do that in the United States. So when we got into Immunotech with the Immunical product, and it's that documented with international patents, my God. So it is just bizarre there that they just don't have as many opportunities as we do in the United States. And how much it costs to live there. A majority of people, just live this much above poverty level while everything is going up. It's like you'll never ever hear in some countries like Hungary, which is one of the poorest countries in Europe. It's like you never hear that incomes got adjusted to inflation. No. Just everything goes up and their income stays the same forever. And people that never lived in those countries are constantly telling us in the United States that those countries are funner to live in, but they never lived there. It's like I used to have this conversation with my sons all the time. They're like, Norway and Finland and Switzerland, they're the happiest countries in the world. And I'm going, really? Have you talked to the people? Because I've been there and I talked to the people that have lived and born there. They don't seem very happy because there's just no one ever talks about an opportunity to make more money because there aren't any. That is just crazy, So I hope you understand the concept of people. Try to do your best to fall in love with people, because I think that each and every one of you, if you don't learn to make this perception change for yourself, then you're not going to attract people. Melody's heard me say this, and it's rough. It's really rough. But if you believe in a higher power like I do, maybe the reason that people are not attracted to you and they're not getting in your group is the universe is protecting them from you. Because you could give a shit about them. All they are is a paycheck to you. So if you don't like people and you don't like being bothered by people and you don't want to deal with people, and then your mind goes, and then you're like, I can't seem to make this business work. I don't think that's by accident. I don't think that people are attracted to you because you don't like them. So I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, Deborah, for jumping on. Shelly, Mary, Dustin, Michael, and Angela, Coach Bob, Scott, Sandy, Melody, and of course, the hostess with the mostest, Craig Jackman. I love you guys, and have a great, 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 great day.